Hello everyone. As you start to work on the Unit 3 assignments, I want to share some of the common problems where many of us lost a point in the Unit 2 assignments, so you can avoid it in the Unit 3 assignments. And also I want to touch the most important concepts in this unit. The first thing is in the last assignment, many of us lost point because you didn't add labels or titles for your chart. For example, this one, it's a good example. It has the title, so we know what this chart is about, and also it has the labels Y for Y and for the X axis. However, if you come to this pie chart, we don't know what this pie chart is about. Is it about the sales or is it about the headcount of these department, right? So you need to add a title. Use this PLT title. Just this simple code, okay? And same with this chart, you see it doesn't have a title and it doesn't have the XY label. So that's where many of you lose the points. Another place you lose points is we need sufficient comments for our code. For example, when you write this Jupyter Notebook, it's like a data report for our audience. So you need to tell them, hey, what's this chunk of code is about. So I want to add code. There are two ways to add code. First way is to add comments. So I will use this pound key. If you use the pound key, you will see that this code is the comments. So when the program run it, it will not run this code. It will just be a pie chart. It will just be the comments. And another way to add comments, let me start my Jupyter, Google Colab, okay? So this new Colab, let me get a new notebook. Okay. Okay. So this is the first way. So this kind of comment is usually for explaining your code. For example, I'm importing the data. That's a comment for this like PD dot read CSV, this kind of code. Okay, and another type of a comment is used for describing the result. So I said that this is a data report. After this chart, for example, after this chart, you want to describe what's on the chart, your interpretation of the chart, right? So in this kind of a scenario, you use this comment, okay? Add text, and then this chart shows that blah blah blah. Okay, well, HR department has the most headcounts, kind of thing, and you run it. Okay, so it's actually you don't need to run. You just input it, it will be the comments there. So it's another type of comment, but do not use the comment here. This comment is like the comment to your Google Doc or Word doc, and it cannot be transferred when I upload your Jupyter Notebook here on my um, Python program to read your work. So please don't use this comment, but instead use this pound key to add comments, or use this text to add comments when you explain your result. So these are the 2 points I want to add for the last assignment. The first is the title and the labels for your chart, and the second is how to add comments for your data report. Okay, Now let's go to this week's assignment. It's about data summarization. So usually, for example, this stroke data. Here, I will use this example of a student's performance. I got some data about a class scores. I want to know how healthy their scores are. This whole class is. So, what is the mean, median, or mode? What is the standard deviation? If the standard deviation is too large, that means the average score, the whole class is not performing well. If the standard deviation is smaller, usually that means that the data is good, the performance is good. And the second, usually we use a histogram to explain this data, like the math score. Okay, from the histogram you can see the range of the data and something of the the overall distribution of the data. So we'll talk about this as well. And the last one is, for example, if these scores, they are not numeric, if these scores are ABC, what you want to get is how many are A and how many are B, right? And the last task we are going to do is to get this statistics. Okay, so let's start. So what I'm going to do first is to upload this. Okay, so now let's read this data. I'll just name this data frame scores. Okay, and you run it. Okay, looks the data is imported successfully. So usually after we successfully import the data, what you need to do is the first thing you do is to check if it is correct. So you pull up the first the first 10 rows. Okay, looks exactly as what we see on the Excel. So it's good. The next thing I want to do is to get some basic statistics about the math score. So we already practiced using the index location iloc. That's that unlock function to get the data we want, right? So let's do this again. You can tell me how to get this iloc, get to this column. So in this case, for the rows, and I explained how to use this function, iloc. So before the comma, you specify the rows you want. Here, since we want all the rows, so it will be just this sign, okay, and semicolon, and then after this comma, you specify the columns you want. So which column do we want? Here it's 0, 1, we count from 0, this column 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to the fifth column, and the end column you just get one column, so the end column should be 6, and this will be excluded. So that means we only get the 5th column. And let's put it together. You can print it out to see, okay? To see if this is correct. So, want to mention for every assignment, every task, you're not just writing the task. It's a good habit that you review the result. You review the data you get, okay? To check the data you get after every step, or else if you finished all the steps and at the end you find okay you did it wrong, and then you have to um, go back all the way go back to previous lines to find the mistake, so that will cost more. Usually it's a good habit to check the result after every step. So now what I can do is to use this function just to describe this data. Okay. You see, when I use this function describe, it tells me how many rows, how many counts are there, and the mean, and the mean, and the standard deviation, as well as the mean and the median. This is the median, okay, and then this is the standard deviation. Right. So if we want to see this data, this result more intuitively, I want to use a histogram. So what we want it to do is just to use a histogram, and we already mentioned how to use that, right? We need to use the and for the histogram, actually, it only takes two variables, two parameters. So one is the data you want to give it. What we want to plot here is the mass data, right? So the first variable I need to give it is just this data, and we are using this mass data. And the second variable you want to tell it is how many bins you have. For example, if I insert 3, if I add 3, let's see what it will show. As you can see, there are 7 bins. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that it shows the overall range, but it doesn't show many details. So if you say 30 bins, then these bins will be smaller, but still overall it still shows the distribution. Usually start with 20 beans or 30 beans, okay? So after you get this plot, what you need to do is to describe the plot. So you want to describe whether this class performance is good or not, or what kind of information we can get, what kind of information we can get from this histogram. Um, think about it. You can get the range of the scores So you can see this highest goes to 100, the lowest goes to 0. This is not good, obviously. And what you can see is the mode. The mode is the highest point, so the mode is here about 60. And you can also get the rough mean here. So the median here, usually if this shape, the median should be about, I think it's about here, like 55. Okay, actually I'm not correct, so the median should be about 66 here. Now, if it's a density curve, more obvious. Um, so you can also get the median. The median point is half of this area. So it's half of this area is about here, right? Separate here. So that's and also you want to get how it's schooled. This data obviously it has a long tail over here, so I will say it's schooled left. Okay. Um, so those are the basic information you want to describe the histogram. And that's how I um, assess this one, okay, the question 3, whether you describe the histogram detailedly. Okay, again, let me draw a curve. So, and also we need to know what these numbers mean. So I will explain it here. Reinforce, help you out to reinforce. Okay, oh, find it. Okay, here I draw two histogram, or you can see it's actually density curve, but it's kind of same concept um, as histogram. So this histogram, this density curve, this distribution of the data, it's almost symmetric. And here I draw another one, might look like this. And here I'll draw another one, look like, forgive me for my bad drawing. But I think that I can still it's still good enough for me to explain. This symmetric distribution, it's very easy to find the mode and the mean and median, and that of course the range. And oh, I forgot. You also need to describe the outlier on the histogram. Okay. So the if it's symmetric, the distribution is symmetric. The mode is the highest point of the histogram, so it should be here. And the median is a half of the area, so the median and mode is the same, and the mean is also exactly the same. But for this histogram, the mode, you can still quickly find mode. The mode is the highest point, the most frequent data, right? So mode is here. That's a mode. Okay. And the median is half of the area. So if we put the median here, you see this area is bigger and this area is smaller. So obviously it's not the median. So the median should be moved over because this area is bigger. So it should move over left side. It should be about here. That's the median. Okay. Should be the median. And where can we find the mean? The mean is, they say, kind of the balance point, the balance point of the curve. So, in this example, because there are a lot of this long tail, there are some students with extremely low score. So that will drag the mean down below the median. Okay, usually the the mean will drag down the mean, so it should be below the median and at about here. That's the mean. Okay. And the school, this histogram, this distribution is skewed left, we say. And this example, so you can help me. Likewise, you can help me to find the mode. The mode is about here. The mode. And the median should be half of the area. So this is smaller than this one, though. So the half of area should be cut about here. That's the median. Okay, median. Oh. Under the mean should be the balancing point of the curve. So it's about this point. Okay, it should be down here. So these, there are some people, this picture means there are some people has extremely high scores, which dragged the class performance down. Okay, the class performance up, the mean up. So this one, it's good, right? Which picture do you think which class has better performance? The performance is healthier. I would say the middle one, because in this one, for this class, most of the students, they have scores on the right side. They have high scores, but only one or two people, they have extremely low score that dragged the class average down. Okay. This is not bad. This is symmetric, and this one, most people had low scores, but only a few people, their score is very high, so they made the average up. So usually, this kind of, I think in this scenario, this class has better performance. Okay. So this is how we analyze the histogram. You need to specify the range, outlier, any outlier like this one, and the overall distribution if this is symmetric or asymmetric. And if it's not symmetric, how it's skewed? It's skewed left or it's skewed right, has a long tail on the right side. And also, you could describe the mode and the mean. All right. Okay, that's histogram, and we come to the last part. If this score is ABC, you want to get how many are in A, how many are in B or C, right? So for example, for this data, I want to get how many students finished this test prep course and how many didn't. The first thing I need to do is again to fetch this column. We have used index location to get this column. So likewise, I think you can change this code to get this column. So it will be again in all the rows, so we don't need to specify these numbers. And you want to get the 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth column. So it will be this number will be changed to 4 and this will be changed to 5, right? So let's reuse this code. And again, you should verify if you got the right data. Alright, looks as this is the correct column we got. Okay, then next one we can use this function called value count. It will count the frequencies of categorical column. You see, it tells us how many completed the prep course and how many didn't. And yes, the question asks you to answer the question. Okay, answer this question. Also answer and describe the histogram. So don't forget to use the text to describe the column. I hope this video is helpful. If you still have questions after watching this video, please just call me or text me. Okay? Good luck on the assignments, and I look forward to seeing your work.